Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and in today's video, we're going to be recapping Sabin with his brand new LD weapon to see how worthy he is of your tickets and or gems. Before I do get into it though, friends, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button as it truly helps out the channel. Now, I did just say Sabin, although this is Gladio's lost chapter. I did cover Gladio, his full kit, in a different video. I'm going to leave that link down below in the description. So in this video, I'm going to primarily be recapping Sabin, but I will talk quickly about Gladio's LD boards and call actions. Alright, friends, so again, if you want an in-depth about Gladio, the link will be down below in the description. Now, Sabin, a character from Final Fantasy VI, one of the Figaro brothers, if I did say that correctly, is going to be making a comeback with a rework and brand new LD weapon. He is a magic attacker with defense ignoring abilities and delays built into his kit. Now, some things to keep in mind with Sabin is that all of his abilities are going to be doing Holy Wind type damage, while he also has the capabilities to inflict Holy Wind resist down on all of his enemies for 4 turns. Now, at 3 stacks of his buff Battle Spirit Unleashed, max stacks being at 4, all of his abilities except his LD will be upgraded to their plus state. That means the plus version of his abilities will ignore defense, but they will consume 2 stacks upon using his upgraded abilities. His second ability, Razor Gale Plus, will delay his enemies by 2 turns. Now, when it comes to his stacks before his LD, right, so pre-LD kit, his abilities will grant him a stack of Battle Spirit Unleashed. But with his LD, you don't necessarily have to keep track of those stacks, but we'll talk about that more once we take a look at his LD ability buff. All right, all I'm saying is that you don't have to worry about the stacks anymore. Now, when it comes to Battle Spirit Unleashed for 8 turns, this is going to increase Sabin's attack by 60%, his max Brave by 30%. This will grant him access to his Brave Attack Plus, HP Attack Plus Plus, and at 3 stacks, like I just mentioned, his abilities will upgrade. So his Skill 1 is called Aura Cannon Plus, Skill 2, Razor Gale Plus, and his EX ability is called Phantom Rush Plus. He does grant himself a generic buff with his Razor Gale. It is a 40% max Brave up for 8 turns. With his EX ability, Phantom Rush, he does grant himself a frame buff called Entrusted Techniques for 8 turns that is going to further increase his attack by 40%, plus 20% to Stolen Max Brave Overflow, and he will enchant himself with Holy and Wind by 20%, just allowing him to hit harder with that Holy and Wind elemental damage type. Now, with his LD weapon, his LD ability Tiger Break, he has 3 uses of this. This is a 4-hit defense ignoring magic Holy Wind AoE Brave plus single target HP attack, executed twice with the 50% HP slash built in. This will inflict his elemental resistance down for 4 turns. This will not consume abilities on the following turn. This will grant him 4 stacks of his buff, Battle Spirit Unleashed, for 4 turns. And this will grant him a beautiful, beautiful buff called Fighting Tiger for 4 turns. What this is going to do for Sabin, Battle Spirit Unleashed stacks will no longer be consumed upon use. This is why I said you no longer have to worry about his stacks, because that was the issue before in the past with Sabin, because you guys saw that he has to be at 3 stacks in order for his abilities to upgrade. But once you use his upgraded abilities, this will consume the stacks and you have to start all over, just seriously prolonging Sabin's damage, because you have to take a few turns to build up his stacks and then he can unleash even harder hitting damage. The fact that Battle Spirit Unleashed will no longer be consumed, he is firing at all pistons, so to say, during the entire fight. Now, this is on a low turn duration, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. So that means you're going to constantly be ignoring defense with his abilities, and you can constantly be delaying with his second ability. Other things that Fighting Tiger is going to be doing for Sabin, this is going to increase his attack by 40%, increase his Stolen Max Brave Overflow by 20%, increase his Elemental Weakness damage up by 30%, so he already ignores defense, inflicts Holy Wind resist down, and does that type of elemental damage. This guy can hit hard. He is also going to increase his HP damage up by 30%. Now, when it comes to the turn duration, when breaking target or attacking broken target, this will extend active duration of Fighting Tiger and Battle Spirit Unleashed by 1 turn, allowing you to keep this up constantly. You don't have to worry about this running out as long as you are constantly attacking a broken target or he breaks an enemy. And he is an attacking type character, so you want to be constantly attacking every single turn. And the last thing that this does is that if Battle Spirit Unleashed is at 3 stacks, which you should be, and Fighting Tiger is active, which again you should have up constantly, this will grant him Brave Attack Plus Plus, HP Attack Plus Plus, Fighting Tiger, which upon use will extend Fighting Tiger by 1 turn. Now, with his LD boards, his LD ability will be executed 3 times instead of 2 times, and there's going to be higher Brave potency. Now, when it comes to his call actions with his Razor Gale Call, this is going to do damage, inflict Holy and Wind resist down for 4 turns, and this will delay the enemies by 2 turns. Tiger Break call action is a defense ignoring damage plus inflicts holy and wind resist down on his enemies. And for the caller, for 2 turns, this will increase the caller's attack by 40%, HP damage up by 20%, and the stolen max rave overflow by 20%. But of course, we do have much better calls on our roster. Now, before I start talking about his worthiness, I am going to be repeating this portion up until the Lufenia Plus era, because it's possible that some viewers might have missed it before in the past, that all of these units that we are going to be receiving in the game, they're going to be great. They're going to be awesome on your team compositions. Due to that, I do believe that now is a good time to be harsher on these characters with the judgment, just so we can start being a little bit more nitpicky about some of these units that will last either a little bit longer, so to say, or they are useful in the Lufenia Plus era. Lufenia Plus is about 2 months away, hence why I am being a little bit stricter on these characters. But at the end of the day, friends, this is your stash. Enjoy the game however you want, friends. All right, just throwing that out there. But when it comes to the worthiness, first and foremost, there is no free multi-draw on this banner. So, I mean, shit, that would have been really nice if I got his LD for free. I would have built him up, I'm not gonna lie, because I believe his kit is pretty cool. But when it comes to the worthiness, everybody else that is not a Final Fantasy VI fan, not a Sabin fan, I'm gonna put him at underneath somewhat worthy, possibly even a skip, especially if you have Daddio. Talking about Daddio, I believe that's a great way to just quickly talk about his boards and call action, and then we're going to circle back to this right here for my reasonings. Now, Daddio with his LD boards on the first turn when the quest starts, this will null action delay and won't count towards the total turn count. His LD is going to be doing more damage, and he will grant Royal Guard to his allies for 10 turns. Royal Guard is a buff that is going to decrease the brave damage they receive and HP damage they receive. And there's going to be changes to his LD buff Blink that he will be doing more brave damage by 20%. Those of you not really familiar with Gladio, again, there's going to be a link down below in the description where I go more in depth about his kit. But upon using Blink, he will completely negate any damage he receives, and he will counter. Gladio is a cover tank counter type character, kind of like Galuf, right? Kind of like Galuf, but his counter is built in with his LD ability buff Blink, which is active for 3 turns. And Gladio, I just mentioned right now with Royal Guard, he has ways to decrease your party's or your party's brave damage they receive, HP damage receive. He's a brave batter and HP healer for the team composition. Now, when it comes to his calls, we are going to be receiving his call action. So Tempest Call, there is going to be caller effect that is going to reduce the party's brave damage they receive by 60% and their HP damage they receive by 20%. And Impulse Call, his LD ability for the caller, 100% brave and HP damage reduction with 100% debuff evasion. All right, friends, so just giving you guys this information. Again, link will be down below in the description for more in-depth about Gladio. Now, circling back to Sabin, because both of these units are on this banner. So if you already have Gladio, I'm going to say you are more than likely going to be skipping this banner unless you are a complete fan of the Figaro brothers. Now, like I just mentioned right now with my little recap here about the Worthy Meter Plus, Sabin is a great character. He's a beautiful character. He has the capabilities to ignore defense. His stacks will no longer be consumed because of his LD ability buff. He inflicts Holy Wind resist down on his enemies. He does Holy Wind type damage. It's built into his kit. And he can delay the enemies with his second ability. His big con is that he does not suplex a train. Okay? Just throwing that out there. But I am going to say, though, that we already have some beautiful delayers already in the game. We have Garland. We have Cypher. We have Cloud of Darkness, who just came out. Her burst weapon is on this banner. Cloud of Darkness also is a magic attacker that has the capabilities to delay her enemies. She is a burst character, and she is going to be a burst plus character later down the line. So that being said, I believe that seriously drops Sabin's value on my How Worthy Plus worth meter. Now, Sabin does repeat later down the line with Line and Rain once Line and Rain receive their LD and Burst weapon during the Lufenia Plus era, aka Burst Plus characters. So if you do want to plan for that out, if you have Gladio now but you still want Sabin, you could possibly chase them here on the Line and Rain banner later down the line. I will say this though, if you are an absolute fan of Sabin, you need that LD. You absolutely need that LD to help you stop consuming his stacks. All right, friends, so at the end of the day, friends, again, if you have Gladio, this banner is a skip for you. If you don't have either of them, somewhat worthy of your resources, depending if you have some of these other units that could cover what they do. All right, friends, so that is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you guys for watching my recap of Sabin. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments your overall thoughts about Sabin. Are you guys going to be chasing Sabin? Are you guys a fan of the Figaro brothers. Me personally, I am going to be skipping out on this banner. I already have Gladio from when he first debuted. Gladio, he was OP back in the day. Now, of course, you can still make him work with the proper team composition and the proper auras, but due to me having him, I will be skipping out on this banner. And it's unfortunate we don't have a free multi-draw because again, like if I did pick up his LD weapon for free, I would have built up Sabin for shits and giggles. Alright friends, so your personal thoughts down below, and until next time friends, good luck and have a good one.